I'm here again with Mike and Amanda and Hannah, and we're just going to give you a few thoughts to wrap up week 2. And it's been a great week, and we've all got a few little stories to tell. So perhaps we could start with you, Amanda.
Right. So what I noticed in week 2 that I thought was extremely interesting and will be interesting to see what happens in the future along with this. On the White discussed using augmented reality this week, where walking around the town, if you're in a spot that a news story happened in, if they could mark it there, then it would pop up with that story so that you can read that story as you're moving around and really possibly see the history of the town, find the interesting things that really in the moment as you're experiencing it there, understanding what that spot means to that city, I found quite interesting. So for the future of newspapers, I think that's going to be something that could be really used to their benefit. I think that's cool.
Great. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I was obviously really pleased to see the way the community reacted to the digital assets material that Becca presented, but it's work I've done with Becca and with Janice Degrinot at Bournemouth. And I think it was good to see the way people recognised that there was a problem. And they did this both in sharing their stories as the digital assets that were important to them and how they would feel if they lost them. And also then raising these points of public policy of, well, what is being done? How do we deal with this? What should be done about this? So I thought that was a kind of good engagement with another critical issue for me.
Great, thank you. Hannah, what about you? How was the week?
I think I'd say, from my point of view as one of the facilitators, we go through the comments and find interesting things to share with people inside of the MOOC and in social media as well. So I just really recommend that people continue to share their case studies. I know one person did so recently and shared an iBeacon story that had been used in a museum. So we're continuing to pick out items and share, so we really like to see what you're doing in the professional world. For me, I found quite an interesting debate around apps. Lots of people were talking about how they download apps now and then dispose of them as soon as they've used them. Be quite interested to hear what other people feel about that and the way they think that that's going to go forward. As well, I think interesting debates around Facebook. People tend to be seeing it as a place now where they kind of share stories and events that are happening as opposed to more personal life stories as it used to be before. So I just really encourage people to keep sharing their blog posts, and if you started a blog as a result of this, then please tell us about it.
Yeah, that's great. So we've definitely noticed, just to echo what everyone's been saying, there's been a huge increase, I think, this week in the number of comments and the quality of comments and the discussions that have resulted from them, and much more social media activity too. There's quite a lot going on Google+, on the Facebook group, and on Twitter, of course. So, share your stories in whichever channel works for you. And next week, we're going to be doing a little experiment with Periscope. More about that later. And I think that's probably us done for today. I hope you enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you all very soon.